showering with you since I don't know when.
It's totally natural to mother's love.
I tell you all the time, you're my only friend.
And I really love your lasagna.
Look at me now, will I ever learn? I don't know how, but when you suddenly lick my face,
you run away and I start to chase.
Yes, it's strange, I want to sit in your bath.
Yes, it's strange that you're a sociopath.
Whoa, whoa, Mamma Mia, here we go again. Date night for 3, no it doesn't suck. Mamma Mia, I was low again. Thank you for paying for my tummy tuck. Yes, from that rose colonic.
And that commercial for a Sonic.
Mom, I'll never let you go. Mamma Mia, here we go again. Date night for 3, no
We're
it doesn't
here.
suck.
We're back. We're with the mother lovers we love. It's smothered.
Oh,
I'm a mother lover, so I can say that.
so much has happened since we did Smothered for season 2.
You missed a lot.
And I feel like I'm a different person after watching Extreme Sisters. And I kind of think, wow, this seems tame. And I know that's fucked up.
It's like the guy that is like just so
Like when you had a 12-inch dick and then
he's literally had dicks, footballs, lampposts, everything's in his asshole, and then he falls in love and like boyfriend dick. He can't feel anything.
Is that all there is? Is that all there is? Is that all there is to a dick? Go, Peggy Lee. Is that all there is? Or the Bette Midler Peggy Lee album. That's a great song. Is that all there is to a fire? Ooh, she was so good.
I didn't know Bette Midler had a Peggy Lee
album.
album.
So good. I used to sell
it.
I used to sell it at the gay bookstore.
Of course you did. Of course, y'all happy pride. You're gay now.
Because I'm talking about Bette Midler and Peggy Lee in the first minute.
It's true. It's true.
So,
happy pride, though, y'all.
Happy pride, everybody. So y'all, this is Smothered, season 3. We've got
episode 1.
3 returning couples, and yes, we call them mother couples. 3 returning mother-daughter couples. Cher and Dawn. We've got Angelica and Soon-hee, our favorite pair of intergalactic cocktail waitresses. And then we've also got Kathy and Christina, Gene Simmons and her daughter.
Yep.
Which, y'all, I love it that Kathy is actually leaning into the Gene Simmons comparisons. She has shirts that has Gene Simmons' face on it now. She's totally leaning into it.
She's totally into it. I love it.
Unfortunately, she has not backed down her streak, which I will say the first time she did it, I saw her do it on the first season. I laughed uncontrollably. I don't know why. She just backed down the street to her daughter's house.
Y'all, if you haven't seen season 2 of Smothered, you're missing out. And if you haven't listened to our season 2 of Smothered, you're gonna miss a lot of references probably. Some. I mean, this episode is on our free feed because we're dropping the first episode on the free feed for the first one or the first 2?
First 2 usually.
Okay, so they're on the free feed for everybody. So if you're listening, this is normally going to be on the $8 tier, whether you're doing Patreon or whether you're doing Supercast. You can get those are both at the $8 tier. But yes, so season 2 is a gift.
We need, however, this season, because we only had 3 returning mother-daughter couples, we need to say a fond farewell to Mary and Brittany, as well as Frank, who passed this year. He's in heaven having a tea time with Dean Martin and possibly Sammy Davis Jr., pouring
Frank,
out
I hope you're having your chocolate
martini and getting all the strippers I could have asked for.
Frank, may you get all the strippers.
and not vomit on their feet.
I don't think she would want him to have strippers even in heaven.
No, she wouldn't. I'm like, I want to do a crossover and now do Mary on The Single Life. Like,
That's too meta. I don't think they
see her dating.
No,
I still hold hope that Mary and Brittany will. I'm hoping that this season of Smothered will come out. They won't be as famous and they'll miss it. I feel like they're just hopefully recouping because Frank died and they just couldn't do the season.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it was hard for her.
Oh yes, oh yeah, and I'm sure hopefully they'll come back.
And Brittany will be there in all of her glory and all of her hulking in the back of every scene.
Being a corrections officer. Scare me. So we're gonna have
totally fucking inmate.
Oh, for sure.
Male or female.
Well,
or something in between. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. She also, y'all, we don't have T Smeller and her daughter
we don't
and
have
her
Sarah and Lori. Good riddance, honestly. I always felt kind of pukey whenever they were around.
We also, who else do we don't have?
We don't have driving down the highway. I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of glad she's not there, so she can't sue us for using her song. We're still going to sing "Driving on the Highway," though.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. If you've missed our season of Smothered, I think you missed at least 25% of the references we use on every podcast. Driving down the highway, you scared me.
You scared me. Crab cake.
What else? There's so many.
There's
what else do we use?
I mean, Frank. Yeah. There's a lot.
Most of them involve Mary and Brittany.
Y'all, Smothered really formed a lot of who we are and kind of formed this tier as what Poodle is beginning to call the cringe tier.
It's the cringe tier.
Yeah.
So what I was saying before we kind of went on to a different topic, like I said, this kind of didn't faze me. Like even Carla and Rakia giving each other bikini waxes kind of didn't faze me.
Okay, let's jump into this, Vince.
Yeah, let's jump in. Up. So it's a new mother-daughter couple, Carla and Rakia. They're in
Alabama. Jacksonville, Alabama.
Alabama.
I can't talk.
They are selfie queens. They're always they twerk together.
They do.
They do bikini waxes together, as we said. Now, the one thing that did throw me when she was giving her mom a bikini wax, she did look at the hair she took off of her mother's bikini area. That was a little much for me, I guess.
I mean, you want to make sure you do a good job. Look, I've been wiping my dad's ass and putting powder on his balls, so this kind of made sense to me at this point. I'm like, sure, this is. That's your daughter. You gave birth to her. You wiped her. You wiped her vagina and her butt when she was a baby. So you're not. I mean,
let me tell you the big difference
trying to
here.
Spend money.
Let me tell you the difference here. You have to do that. They do not have to wax each other's bikini areas.
Now, I maybe they're just cheap because I would say. I would want to go to a professional who would do a good, unless my, mother was a really good, waxer. You know what? You're right. As I'm talking it out, it's weird. It's weird.
A little bit later, we find out that they have shown each other the other sex tapes. So this is where boundaries become an issue.
I just sounded like the chicken hawk from Looney Tunes. I say that's some weird fucking shit.
No, that's Foghorn Leghorn. That's not the chicken hawk.
Oh, that's the chick. Oh, yeah,
that's the rooster. The chicken hawk is like, the chicken hawk. So yeah, y'all, this is another education on another moment that says we should always have boundaries between ourselves and our parents. And when your mom becomes your best friend who you can show your sex tape to, and she gives you pointers on angles, boundaries, y'all, boundaries. Because I want to say this. If you're having problems with boundaries with your mom, you're going to have problems with boundaries in other parts of your life. You're going to have problems. They have problems with Rashid, their son.
Well, because they've set up this parallel.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you? So, I'm not one of those gay men that is fucked a guy and then we became friends.
What are you saying?
Are. No, but you have like
I know,
several
that's
of
what I'm saying. I was like, yes, I'm listening.
But a lot of gay people and just our friends that are lesbians, y'all, that happens a lot in the queer community. That people hook up, they're not right, and maybe that happens to a lot of straight people.
Fine. I think people straight people are friends with people they've dated.
I think it's fine too. I'm just prefacing it because some people, like some of our straight listeners, might
think it's weird.
Carl, do you know you can sleep with someone and be their friend? You better not try it.
I think it's especially for men and women, I think it's a more modern idea and a more current idea that can happen. But yeah.
Well, my point with all this is, so this is somebody who's already like sucked your dick, okay? Like your penis has been in their mouth.
Yeah.
And they've heard you say those secret incantations that no one has ever heard before. Exactly. Would you show them a sex tape and say, hey, can you give me some advice on making a better sex tape?
No.
Or how does my asshole look?
Beyond boundaries.
So that's what I just wanted, I was trying to think, is there anywhere that this would be appropriate? Like as a therapist, this, and you know everything. If my client said, hey, I want to show you my sex tape so I can do a better
sex
tape.
That's professional boundaries. But yeah,
that's beyond a boundary. But I was trying to think of like, is there a close relationship where this feels?
I can see
okay.
I can see Kourtney and Kim Kardashian doing it, but they don't have any boundaries either.
But also, their sex tape is seen by everyone at this point.
That's true. That is true. But I'm saying, I think they are an example in boundaries. The whole show, you guys, I just whistled again. I know. I'm aware. So I think they're kind of a combination, I feel, of Kathy and Christina, because they have a problem. We're going to see later on her son, Carla's son, Rakia's brother, does not want them to meet his new girlfriend.
Yeah, Rashid doesn't want them to meet.
And that beat has happened in both seasons of Kathy and Christina, but with the daughter and trying to find out who her other daughter is dating. So it does feel a little bit same beady for me.
I don't know, man. I just don't want to, even with my nephews, I don't want to eroticize them in that way. Like I go, this is gross, but I just keep thinking, you seen a dick go inside your daughter's vagina?
It's awful. It's like, awful.
I don't want to see that, but whatever.
I think the thing is, it's not weird for them because they have absolutely no fucking clue what a boundary is. And I think we knew because I'm not sure that we found out the trauma, you guys, because there's always a trauma on these shows.
Yeah. Dad died young.
Dad died when she was young.
Not to make fun of it, because we all have boundaries, but it's become such a part of the show. We could almost.
It's always a trauma. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the trauma? Show me dead dad. Ding.
Ding.
Yeah.
Ding. Sadly.
Show me massive sexual abuse at a young age. Ding.
Ding.
Yeah, that's definitely Extreme Sisters.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. It was interesting to hear her talk about this because she's like, because when my dad passed in an accident, the only person I had was my mom. Mom didn't really say a lot, which means either they weren't together after that, or maybe mom really, or mom hasn't processed her husband's death at all. And she's just invested her whole life in her daughter.
And this is when she was 7. So,
Jesus.
Which is, it's bad for any age, but that 7's hard because you're starting to be like more aware.
Mm-hmm.
And so the mom said, I had to fill the gap. And it sounds a little bit like Carla needed her. Or I'm sorry. Yeah. Rakia needed her mom, and Carla needed to not focus on her grief nor dating anyone else again. So she literally put it all into her daughter.
That's why I didn't know if her and Rakia's dad were together at the time, because she was so kind of closed off to her talking about Rakia's father's passing. I mean, I don't know if it was either it wasn't important for her as much it was for Rakia, or important, or she was just so cut off from her own grief.
I was confused. I don't know that answer.
Bit.
We didn't get an answer on that, and it's interesting to me that they think. Some parents think by over-parenting and being the shadow almost to their kid and being best friends that they're taking care of them more. But maybe this is morbid, but I think, well, if I develop this codependency with my child, what happens when I die? Because I'm going to die one day, and how broken are they going to feel? Are they going to be able to live a healthy life, or are they going to be suffering from this codependency? And I know that's not for me. I'll be dead and gone. But at the same part, the parental side of me I want my child to have an independent and be close to me, but feel like they're okay without me.
Yeah, I think for me, it would go with, I want my child to be as independent, and trying to be both mother and father and give them even more will actually create some type of kind of a deficit for that person. She will need more. In a weird way.
Maybe you'd be like your mother. Mother Poodle says she raised you too independent.
Boy, I got a ways. As soon as the door was open and she saw me, she's like, Jaybird, come back here. I'm like, see ya.
I guess this is why my kids don't come see me.
God. You know what, though? She really did. I love my mother, but she raised my brother and I very independently.
Yeah.
And also both my parents are very independent. Neither one of them are codependent for things like that.
No, sometimes I wonder why they're married.
Me too. Me too. And I think that's the nature of us as a family. We're all, whenever they'll do family time, I'm just like, fuck you.
Wow. Loving. So now, and it kind of even more, now this is something that I thought was very relatable. I've seen this a lot in where I grew up. So Rakia had a baby at a young age, single mom. They don't even mention the dad, so we don't know what that story is. She had her son Idris, and mom stepped in basically, and this is what we've seen a lot. I saw a lot of, I would have friends my age having babies when I was in high school and early college, and their mom was basically raising the kid or helping raise the kid.
That's I think if
you're as old as
if
time.
You're a teen mom, you almost have to have that. Or someone. It did tweak me a little bit when she said something like, "This is our baby."
Again,
it got a little no boundaries. It got a little extreme. Sisters, our baby. These babies are gonna be both of our babies because we're the same. We're the same things at the same time.
Same time.
It'll be our baby.
Our baby.
Dingo ate your baby.
Baby.
Every time they say the word baby, I think the dingo ate your baby.
What's that from?
Oh God, who said that? People are screaming. It's a famous line. The dingo ate your baby. Here,
not familiar.
Hey Siri, who said the dingo ate your baby?
No,
it's not going to tell me. The dingo ate my baby is a cry attributed by Lady Chamberlain Creighton as a part of a case at Uluru. The Uluru, which is Ayers Rock, which is Uluru is the indigenous name for it. You know what Ayers Rock is?
Yeah, Oprah went there. It was a big deal.
You know it through Oprah. But the indigenous name, Aboriginal name is, she screamed, the dingo ate your baby.
And this latest section was brought to you by the new Baz Luhrmann musical, Australia.
The dingo ate my baby.
That would be that number. In Australia, I'm surprised he hasn't done that yet. Anyway, so then now Rakia says that her mom can be a little controlling, and she can kind of take over her parenting.
Yeah, no
skills.
shit. When she refers to it as her baby too.
Yeah, I mean, we see with Idris, he's a cute kid. He's like what? I think he's like 11, and
maybe.
So, yeah, he's
I don't know what age children are.
It's hard to tell.
There's like an age of like 5 to 6. I can kind of guess. Then they start getting secondary sex characteristics. Then I know they're probably 12 or 13.
Sure.
Anything in there, I'm just like, sure, you're 8. Great. Works for me.
Sure. Be a kid. Well, so, but I kind of love her son Idris because he reads them and basically says that, but even though they're asking him about, they're putting pressure on him about Rashid's girlfriend, like they can't believe that they haven't met him yet. And Idris is like, well, y'all be acting ratchet and ask a lot of questions.
That's true.
And he explains what ratchet is, and he says, "You're acting crazy.
He's crazy. You're going to twerk in front of him." And they're like, "Yeah, I guess that is ratchet."
They're like, "That's right." So then, y'all, there's a lot of layers to this story because Rakia also loves that she's being taken care of because Rakia is a surrogate mother, and that's her job. So she's 4 months pregnant.
Was that her? I missed that. Maybe it's her.
He said that.
It's her job.
That's my job. I grow babies.
I mean, it's
put your sperm in me, and I'll get your baby out in 9 months for you.
Well, most surrogates are their eggs and the sperm are both implanted, so they're not going to be from her egg. But,
no, they're not.
It is kind of weird when the mom is like, but then I get to take care of her like she's a baby again. It's just,
I want to say it's not weird at all that she's a surrogate. I actually thought that was really cool.
No.
And that's really a beautiful thing.
I've never heard someone refer to it as their job before, but I guess it is her job in a way.
I guess it is your job because cooking
a baby.
I've had a lot of friends that have hired surrogates and they're not cheap. They're not cheap at all. So, and honestly, you never know, like, if a surrogate told me, like, yeah, I live alone or I raise a kid I have my kid and my mom and she takes care of me. I'm like, perfect.
Sounds great. Yeah.
So, anyway, I love that. But you're right. The weirdness came when it was that horrible Daniel Day-Lewis movie of just, she wanted her daughter always to take care of him.
What movie is that?
He was in? God, it was so horrible. It's the last movie he did. He said, "This is the last performance I'm giving." And it was such a piece of shit movie.
The Thread one?
Oh my God, that movie was horrible.
That movie was nominated. He was nominated for an Oscar, and so was that movie.
And he should not have been. It was a shitty.
I never saw the movie. To be honest,
don't ever see it.
I will just say, not that I haven't seen it, so I can't say one way or the other. But your view is not shared by many people who saw that movie.
It is not good. It's stupid. And it has a horrible, horrible ending, y'all. Spoiler alert.
Tell people the ending of this movie.
She's poisoning him the whole fucking time. It's useless.
Great. Sorry if anybody... I can't remember them. It was something called Thread, wasn't it?
Phantom Thread.
Phantom Thread. Was that really what it was called?
Yes, it's a sad movie about sad people, as you said about that other movie.
Manchester by the Sea.
Yes.
I kind of enjoyed it. It was sad, though. It was quite sad.
Just see Lincoln.
They're the same movie, same film. I want to say, Rashid does come in, who is hot.
He is cute.
And he says he doesn't really share as much as we do. That's because he has boundaries. And he's kind of normal.
And he realizes y'all don't have boundaries, and he doesn't want to be involved in your craziness.
Then they say, I think we should invite him and his girlfriend over for Soulful Sundays, which they think is a thing. It's never explained what that is. Maybe it's a thing. Is it?
I learned from Oprah Super Soul Sundays. So maybe
I don't think that's the same thing. Maybe Soulful Sundays are a thing in there.
I don't know. Oprah talks to Emmanuel Acko or Brene Brown. They make collard greens. I guess it's both soulful things. I mean, but maybe they're going to church, and maybe it's like so.
That makes sense.
I think we're gonna find out because they're building up to this event.
I'm saying it seems like they think it's
they're
trying to make it a thing, and I don't think it's a thing. I think it's a thing for them, and everyone else is like Soulful Sundays. What the fuck is that?
I think they always make things for them.
Ugh. Yeah.
And Rashid says, look, he's like, her name's Chelsea, which is
dating for 9 months.
And they're like, 9 months. And he's like, look, they're blunt people. They always want to know what's going on. And then he says, well, he kind of mentioned, well, I met her family. And Rakia's like, what? You met her family?
And of course, Carla starts to cry.
Well, he says, you're going to ask uncomfortable questions the first time you meet her about sex and stuff like that.
No wonder he doesn't want to bring them around.
And then, I mean, this was a page out of Mother Poodle's book when she said, but we're a close family, aren't we? I mean, I feel like we are.
I guess. And then she was like, that's fine. You'll bring her around when you're ready.
When you're ready. And then she says, my feelings are hurt a little bit. And then this is where it was classic Mother Poodle. You make me feel like I have not been a loving mother.
My mother would say, I'm a terrible mother. And make her voice. My mother does this thing where even though she's not crying, she makes her voice break like this. Does it, Darcy? I guess I'm not a good mother. And I'm like, oh, come off it. You're not doing that.
Your poor mother.
But I wrote down, this is the problem. Your son can't tell you about things like this because you don't have fucking boundaries.
No, and instead he said, well, if it makes you uncomfortable and it makes you feel a certain way, I will bring her around. And she says, okay. And then she says to the camera, Carla says, well, I look forward to meeting her, but we're going to be us and ask her all our questions.
Oh, so of course you are.
I'm going to bulldoze all my son's feelings and do what I want anyway. And we're going to make Carla and Rakia are going to make this about them because you guys, I bet everything they do is always about them.
I kind of wish this mother-daughter couple was a little more like weird. Like we had 3 weirdos last time and they're
not weird.
They're not weird. They're just extra. They're extra like Christina and Kathy are, but less fun. And and it's I don't know. I'm sure there'll be something that gives us a laugh, but I'm a little underwhelmed by this mother-daughter couple.
Part of me, it's like the fact that they honestly have this shared legacy of raising children alone as single mothers, and they support, like, that's all beautiful. And I love,
bring a book. It's not interesting TV.
Well, but I think it's an important story to tell, and that always needs to be told because there's always women that are doing that and having to support other women. But man, this toxicity and
we're not going to see the good side of it.
Exactly. Yeah, we're not going to see the good side of it. So anyway,
of Kathy and Christina, they're back, y'all. No one's going to do. We're decorating for the holidays, and she's got her skeleton windsuit on, and it looks awful.
It looks funny. You know, Kathy is a funny grandma,
and
she will make
a lie about my age.
Now, I will say, because you could see the outline, and we've seen her. Kathy has amazing legs.
No, I mean, I think it's just that she makes herself kind of look like a wild thing. And I think if she didn't wear so much makeup and tan so much, I think we would see a normal looking person in there, but she just looks like a Fraggle the way with her hair, and that's her shtick.
I kind of feel like this is how you and I, or both of us, are going to look when we're 65.
Oh God.
I just think that we're just going to start to get more extreme. And I think I'm going to get more just like, hey, showy, and you're going to get more vain. And it's going to be
think
bad.
I'm going to get those glasses like the woman on the Old Navy commercials.
Yes.
Magic. And they'll be so big.
I think you are.
But you guys, she's decorating because she goes all out for holidays.
Yes.
Arbor Day, Passover, Earth Day, all of it.
All of it. And so she obviously loves her daughter. And so the producer says, is there anybody you'd rather spend time with? And they're like, no. And then Christina says, her daughter says, I feel guilty when they're in Chicago. She's like,
no.
I feel guilty.
And they're Italian. Remember that. That's going to pay off later.
For our new listeners. Yeah, it is going to pay off later. She says, I feel guilty when I'm not with my mother. And Kathy says, I don't make you feel guilty. I don't make you feel bad.
I don't make you feel guilty. Yeah.
And then she said, you feel guilty just because it's wrong. It's bad.
I will say they are naturally enjoyable. They don't have to work hard. They don't have to work hard. We don't need a lot of storylines. You guys, we probably won't say a lot about them because their segments are just fun. They don't have a lot of problems.
They are Lucy and Ethel in a chocolate factory.
I will say I always forget that her son's name, Christina's son, is named Cross.
He is. His name Cross.
I think it's probably spelled with a K too.
I know a lot of crosses in.
I never heard that before.
Oh yes.
So it's an Oklahoma thing.
I know like 3 friends that have kids named Cross
in Oklahoma.
Oh yes.
That's
Cross.
Awful.
Oh yeah, I know Cross. I know.
I assume that's for Calvary, right? The Jesus and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, Cross. Yuck. What else do people have kids named after?
It's so
I have to think of it, but there's all they're there. I know they're there.
I get it, and it's like how there's a lot of you'll meet Latina women named Concepcion. And things named for the Virgin Mary. And I'm like, you named this baby after some religious tenet. And I guess it's no different than naming your children after the apostles, like me. But there's just something about naming your daughter Conception. But
possibly. I
just feel bad for the baby.
You love pizza. Would you name your kid Pizza?
No.
Okay, just checking.
But I think the people who name their kids Cross that is because there is a very strong religious faith, and they need. I think it's one thing to name your child after an apostle or someone in the Bible, but to name them after an inanimate object is a little weird.
I think for me, it's more about. It's not the religious connotation. It's more of, it would be like if you named your daughter Rosary, or it's like when people name sometimes their kids
or Crucifixio.
Yeah, but I don't mind if people, some people name their kids Prince and stuff like that, but there's still sometimes people name, like we talked about it on Sister Dating Show, and like, what if you name someone like King, or you name someone like, Happy or Peace? I get why people do that. I just don't want to put like an expectation on my kid of what their name is. Because what if you name your kid Cross and they're a fucking asshole?
Well, I think that's your fault because you're raising them.
Well, it is, but and also the expectation on the kid, and I don't know. I like a name that gives a kid a blank canvas to create the identity they want,
like Mortimer.
Mortimer.
What? Come here.
If you don't have a New York or Long Island accent and your name's Mortimer, you failed.
Mortimer, come here, Mort.
You failed.
So you guys, Carlo, the big news is Carlo quit his job. Carlo's Guido hot. Probably sweats marinara sauce.
Oh yes, I licked that olive oil.
And he's now remodeling a pizzeria. He's gone into business for himself. And so
we're saying that not because we're making horrible Italian jokes. We're saying marinara and olive because he works at a pizza place.
Kind of.
Oh God, don't come for people.
I'm saying they're that Italian.
They are that Italian.
And they would tell you they're that Italian. This is the thing, you guys. Since Jersey Shore, that kind of ultra mega Italian they've embraced that. She has tons of sweaters that say Italia on it.
Yeah, she does. She does.
So,
but the thing is, can we talk about? We don't really know, and they don't explain. Maybe they'll explain more. Y'all, that was the ending episode of last season. The very last episode for them, Carl, he just came up and said,
"I'm leaving
I'm leaving his family pizza restaurant. I'm leaving the job. That's it." And they at the time were remodeling their house and all this, and everything just kind of stopped. And that's the way the season ended.
Yeah,
for them.
I liked it when she was carrying around that life-size Michael Myers to put in their yard. Y'all, we all know this family who decorates a little too much for Halloween.
That one thing jumped up and it scared me. It scared me.
I know you are a huge fan of decorating for Halloween. I like to do small things.
Mm-hmm.
I just think, to me, decorating is a waste of time. But I know that that's not how a lot of people feel. But,
Poodle doesn't like fun. That's basically.
I can enjoy a decoration. I
don't think it's a way. I mean, that's your opinion, but I don't think it's a waste of time. I think if you enjoy it now, her house would be scary to me, and I wouldn't go.
Yeah,
it's scary.
I
need like Huey, Dewey, and Louie and Halloween mask on your lawn. Even that's a little scary to me.
Even that's a little much.
Even that's a lot. Anything that looks like a ghost, I don't know what's under it. I'm not walking up there.
Have you ever seen those houses near me where I used to live? They would really go all out, and there would be like ghosts, and they were scary. I would never go
have a big spider on your bush that looks like your spider could crawl down and eat me.
No, they would have spider that went up and down.
Yes. No, thank you.
There was this cat that its head would go back and forth like this.
That I like. That's spooky.
But no, you didn't know when it would move. That's what it bothered me.
I like spooky, not creepy.
That's all I really got. Christina is a little stressed because she wants to spend time with her mom, but she also needs to spend time waitressing at the pizzeria. So she has to leave the kids with her, and she's like, "Well, fine, leave me." Blah blah blah.
Which. Y'all, my brother, by the way, Caddo Barbecue in Ardmore, Oklahoma, tell him the Sissy Squad sent you and you get a discount.
I need some ribs.
On the tour. But I know, and Poodle worked in restaurant, but I just hearing my brother, y'all, my brother is doing his day job and he's up at his restaurant almost every night. The other family worked, like, it's a full. So my heart goes out to Carlos because this is a lot of fucking work.
Yeah.
And I bet sometimes he's had a long day. He's been throwing some pizza. He's covered in a little bit of like flour and olive oil. And sometimes he needs Jake to come up behind him and just, "Hey, Carlos, you want me to rub your shoulders?"
It's like your dick too.
Wow, you went there quick.
Just a little finger up the butt.
Every time somebody says foreplay, do you just say, "I'm not familiar"?
Not familiar. No.
Wow.
You may, I may take one warm-up lap. Then it's on to the main event.
By the way, how much do you want pizza now?
I want it so bad.
Are you ordering pizza?
No. I've been. I bought some cookies from Milk Bar last week, and I've been eating one a day, and now it's ruining my weight loss program because those cookies are big. And they're good, and they're very, very highly caloric.
Just throw them away.
You would never throw cookies away. That from Milk Bar? Fuck you.
Y'all,
you wouldn't do that.
a guy came over and fucked him last week, and afterwards said, "Do you want to order cookies?" And Poodle didn't want to look like he had food issues, so he said, "Sure."
And of course, the motherfucker we had to buy 6, and the motherfucker only ate 1.
And left you the
and
cookies.
I was sitting there with the other 4 cookies when as soon as he left, my house felt more empty. And the only way to cure that emptiness is eat another cookie.
Yeah. But at least you got to give him another blowjob while you waited for delivery.
It's true.
Let's move on to a new couple. But before we do that, we're going to take a commercial for our free feed listeners, and we'll be right back.
Y'all, it's Lauren and Lisa. And they are in Kenner, Louisiana. And you know what that means? Dong dong ding 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 ding. Yes, y'all, we're gonna come down to the Louisiana.
Oh no.
Bayou. We're gonna have a lanyap. We're gonna have some king cake. You're gonna go to the crew of cups. You're gonna go have a Mardi Gras party. Don't boom 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 boom. I'm pumping umbrellas, y'all. Can you see it? I'm pumping umbrellas.
I knew. I looked up where Kenner, Louisiana is, and I saw it's basically a suburb of New Orleans.
Kind of. It's a little further out. Like it's right near Metairie. They're both bedroom communities.
Oh, no. Yeah. When I saw, I went, "Oh no!"
And you know, now I will say, both mom and dad have more of a New Orleans accent than Cajun accent. Unlike some of Jovi's friends who just talk kind of Bayou. But
true.
It's just you can tell the New Orleans accent. Sometimes the Oz will be a little longer, and there's just certain pronunciations of vowels that'll be kind of French inflected. But I'm still gonna do a Cajun accent, oh Lord.
So Lisa's 53 and Lauren's 20.
Inseminate you, got the baby. I'm gonna give you the baby. I'm gonna put the sperm in you. I'm gonna order it from the sperm company.
Lisa's 53 and Lauren's 27. Get used to that voice, y'all.
Y'all. This comes from me doing Jovi, who's from the Bayou country. So I know that someone don't save your time. I know they're not Cajun, but I will never use.
He will do this.
I will always.
Yeah.
So Lauren says that she feels like she's looking into a mirror when she looks at her mom. Never something I don't know. I would want to. Maybe you'd want to hear.
But she said, well, it's the same beats, y'all. They say we're best friends, we're friends. But she says, the mom says she's so special and she needs me. And I went, see, that's not great.
Red flag.
And then that is when Lauren, the younger daughter, says, when I see my mom, it's like I'm seeing a mirror of the future. This was a read, and if you don't think Poodle and I are going to be just like our mothers when we're 60, then you're kidding yourself.
My mother's already in that animal print phase. She's Does your mother into that? Does she enjoy animal print?
Some, but not
because she's like 65, right? Or 70?
No, my mom's 70. But you've been on record of saying one day you're just going to wear a lot more animal prints and a lot of
I've already
stars.
started to like it. For me, it's a little kitschy, and I know that. But I do have a sweater that's all leopard. But it's going to be animal print for me for good.
If you find a beautiful animal print scarf,
I'm totally in for it. Send it to us.
Send a picture to Poodle.
I'm totally into animal print scarves. By the way, I'm gay.
Just checking.
So
now, Poodle, what did you think of
their exclusive slumber parties?
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I was like, this is where we have a live one.
When you're past the age of, I don't know, 16, 17.
No. Maybe you do an ironic sleepover like in college.
No, that's fine. But like, you don't have them. You don't have slumber parties with your mom.
Maybe if you're single, you do a ironic sleepover when you're 30.
Yeah, for your birthday.
For your birthday. But I was going to say, with your friends.
But not your mom. And she called them exclusive, which probably means no one else could come. It's just her and her mother. Any friends were not allowed. Any of mom's friends, not allowed.
Also, maybe it's something you do, maybe not once a week.
That's fucked up.
Y'all, this is like once a week.
Up.
This is once a week. This person is leaving her wife.
Yeah, this is our first lesbian
Lauren
couple.
Lauren.
We had our first black couple with Carla and Rakia, which is we're getting diversity this year. Now,
because I don't remember the couples from season 1, so we don't know. I don't know if they weren't gay or color.
So she takes bathroom phone calls for her mother during those exclusive sleepovers.
No, not phone calls. Zoom, Skype sessions, so video.
That's
her mother's like, oh, that's a lot of
those bubbles look luscious.
And I went,
how does this booby look, Mom?
Yeah, how's my nip look, Mom? Oh, good. Looks just like mine when you sucked on it.
Because you know what? It makes us closer when I show you my vulva when I'm in the tub.
Vulva. Now, and they do the bath thing like 2 or 3 times a week. So that's when I was like, okay, these women are like teeth smelling weird. And now Lauren says that when she was 10, that's when she told her mom that she was gay. And y'all, you got to think of they're in the South.
Yeah.
This was Lisa, like a lot of moms, had a hard time with it.
She locked herself in her room.
and cried a lot. But then
they're great now.
As soon as Laura Lee came by, the picture changed.
Laura Lee is Lauren, which is confusing. I know. Laura Lee is Lauren's, and there's Lisa. I'm sure the father is like Herbert. But so it's Laura Lee, Lauren, and Lisa.
What is that song? As a blackbird
in the spring. Orally.
Yes. That's what I think of.
I played that on the recorder.
Orally. Wait, how old were you when you played it on the recorder?
I was very young. I was a recorder prodigy. And
Did you get really into it?
Yes, and my teacher would ask me to play in front of the class to show the excellence that could be established. And the kids made fun of me because I was really good, because it's a weird thing to be good at. But I thought it was really amazing, and I was the first who could play orally, and I flew through hot cross buns, and I was already into Swing Low Sweet Chariot before anyone else was.
This is why Poodle needed a well, so he could sit by his well, daydream, play into recorder.
I'll give you I want to actually ruin something for you guys. The reason why we give recorders to students is they're very easy at the beginning. The horrible thing is they're not pitched well. They're not unevenly pitched, so it will always sound out of tune. So if you're a music teacher is teaching your kid recorder, knowing they are paying for it by hearing out of tune music the entire time. Recorders sound awful, and if you're a parent who hates them, trust me, you're not alone. It's a terrible sound. Wow. It's also they're like old Renaissance recorders that can play in tune, but it's very hard to. It's very hard to play recorders in tune. This has been your period instrument minute.
Musical minute with Poodle.
Let's talk about Laura Lee, her wife. Y'all, I grew up with lesbians like Laura Lee. They were wearing full camo.
Yes.
They weren't out, but you knew, like in sixth grade.
Yes.
Your friends, they could shoot a buck at 1,000 feet.
Jana Lee Christian used to beat me up every day in sixth. She'd hit me on the arm and she'd want to play Frogger.
Yeah.
Where we like hit each other on the arm. And I was like, ow, I don't want to play this game with you,
Jana
Lee.
Shut up, sissy.
And she's like, shut up. And she'd let me feel over her muscles. And I go, wow, you're you're so strong, Jen. I mean, she loved me. I liked her too, but her family disowned her when she came out, and she got on meth for a while.
Jesus.
She's doing better now, but yeah, they were.
But it's that type of lesbian that you'll see in rural America that you're like, praise. She's got the hat. She's got the fish hook on the hat.
Y'all.
It's just my cousin Sherry's girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, can you count?
Those lesbians are the salt of the earth.
You know what? You know what? These lesbians like Laura Lee, they will get shit done and they will take care of you.
Yeah, they will.
And I think, at least the lesbians that I knew growing up, were this beautiful balance of shucking what masculine and feminine was. They could be strong. Yeah. They could be not emotional if they wanted to be, but then when you needed them, you could like fall into them and hug them, and they would love you.
Yeah, they were super connected to their emotions. Sometimes
they also would get you really fucked up.
Yeah,
boy, they love to drink and do shots.
Because a lot of them had problems with alcohol.
I remember one time we were at my grandpa Pete's, and my mom's dad, my grandpa's out at his little farm, and his stepdaughter. Wendy lived in the trailer house up down the road because she had problems, and so they just put up the house because they wanted the grandkids to be close.
Y'all, did you catch the generic? She'd had problems. That's the part in Southern people say, she's got problems. We don't really talk about it. She's had a rough time.
With a problem.
She's had a rough time.
But she had a girlfriend, or she had a roommate that lived with her whose name was Danielle, but everybody just called her Dan. And so came down, and she said had oil all over, and they were both wearing matching rings. And she said to my grandpa, "So Pete, out there, can you help me? I've been working on my Ford, and I'm done," because my grandpa knew all about how to. My grandpa was a very smart man; he knew a lot, and so he worked on farm equipment stuff. And she's like, I was working on farm equipment, asking for advice, and they're talking about this for 10 minutes. My brother and my sister-in-law are just sitting there like, we've never met this person before. And then they walk away. And then my grandpa turns to us and said, I think they might be donut bumpers.
Stop! I think they might be.
And that's not a correct term to say.
No, it's not.
But that is what my grandpa said. So I'm just, yes. I was like, what?
My favorite in the South is when you would see someone like full on hat, like jersey, vest, two women together. And someone like my Aunt Linda would say, she just hasn't met the right boy. The level of.
If she just put on some foundation and some rouge, she'd be real pretty.
I wish she would keep herself up better. She's never going to get a man that way.
A good pedicure would be wonders.
I wish she'd take off that Georgia Tech hat that I see her in always.
It's so dirty.
It's just
orange is a terrible color on her.
It's not good.
Is Georgia Tech orange?
No.
I don't.
No.
Green.
I think it's Yellow Jackets. I don't know what they are.
Who cares?
Now that you fucked it up.
Anyway, y'all.
So yeah, there's a lot of denial.
We love Laura Lee. I
think she'd be a fun hang.
I think so too. So once she came out, though, they all started doing stuff together, and even Lauren's dad, Kenny, says, it was really great hanging out with Laura Lee.
I met that girl. She know what to do. She know how to cook. She know how to dress a fish. She know how to shoot a gun. We're gonna have a good time here with her here.
And Laura Lee says, basically, we had a bond because we were shut out. And Kenny said, she's kind of like me.
In a lot of ways. More than you know.
And you know what? Because, y'all, that is, I know that he said that, and you're thinking, well, why would he say that? But where we're from in the South, gender roles
hang out with the men.
But the gender roles are even bigger. They're not where they are, let's say, in maybe Philadelphia. And so
gender roles are so set. Yeah.
And they're really a beautiful, like my dad would say something like that and would think of somebody differently, like, oh, I really like this person. they're a lesbian, they're a woman, but they act a different way. They quote unquote, they have to put it in a box and say, well, she acts like a man because they don't know that women can act however they want. But still, it's getting there. It's a way of getting into acceptance.
My cousin Sherry and her girlfriend would always hang out with the male uncles ever since I could remember.
Why haven't you taken me to go drink with them?
You know, if you ever come, we do a cousins hang every time I'm home.
Does she love you?
We get along, yeah.
Is there any cousins you don't? You know what? Never mind. I don't want to know.
Several.
So, okay. So, and Laura Lee says, I'm married into this polyamorous relationship. And so.
I think she says polygamist, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she does. And so Lisa basically says, she talks to, I hate it when they're saying, Lisa starts talking about how they've been trying to have a baby, and that Laura Lee sat Lauren down and said,
we need to pause.
We need to pause. We're spending a lot of money. This is taking a lot of time.
And I think it was more than just the money. It's like, let's just take a breather. And y'all, guess what Lauren did? She went to her mom, and guess what? I gonna go disseminate the girl. I go put the turkey baster in her cuckoo. That's a fucking betrayal, y'all. This is a
betrayal.
This is awful.
I
think Laura Lee should run.
I think so too.
I think Lauren is a piece of shit for doing this.
I think so too. I think this is a really horrible thing, because Lauren's thing is, well, they're not going to know, and then I'll get pregnant and she'll be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wait, you want your mom to? Because here's the deal. At first I thought, okay, well, maybe they don't need. Maybe if they really financially can't do this, and so they want to do an at-home insemination because it's just going to be cheaper. It would save a lot because it's just so expensive.
Laura Lee said, "Let's pause."
But Laura Lee said,
she is freezing out her wife from this relationship.
And also, too, if you're really doing this for the health of the baby, you should do this with your wife. Your wife can inseminate you, and your wife also can make you have an orgasm. Because whenever you have an orgasm during insemination, it helps push the semen up into the lady. How do I know this? Maybe because that's what I used to tell all my gentleman callers that.
I knew this, and I was going to say it if you hadn't said it.
And Poodle said it to many members.
I know.
Deeper, I want the babies.
Get me pregnant.
But I agree. That is that's a perfect word. This is betrayal.
I want to say, what would happen if the roles were reversed? What would happen if the husband said, let's say if the husband, for some reason, took off the condom and said, that's stealthing, basically, for that.
Yeah.
But this is not the same thing. But in a way, or what if the wife went off the pill without telling the husband? If they had agreed they were going to wait.
Yeah, exactly.
It's similar. And even though we say, no, it's not really, but she's doing it without her wife's consent. You guys, they're basically starting a family. It's shitty. And the mom should take a fucking backseat. The mom should say, I'm not going to get involved in this. This is a discussion you need to have with your wife. I'm not getting involved.
Again, it goes to...
It's fucked up.
You know, a lot of the fucked upness of these relationships, to be honest, it's the mother's fault, because they're the ones that raise their kid to be comfortable. And again, it goes back to, I want my child to be close to me, but to have a life where they're good on their own, because one day I'm going to be dead and gone.
But these women want to be, I want to be my child's favorite person. I want to be...
Lisa is going to push Laura Lee out of that child's life as another mother.
Yeah, agreed.
It's not going to be good.
That's all I have to say. This was actually the most kind of distressing mother-daughter couple for me.
They're our tooth-smelling couple to me.
But less. This is much more of a complete bold-faced betrayal for me. Speaking of someone who wants to be her daughter's favorite person,
boy,
Soon-Hee and Angelica. I tell you what, Angelica, I've been on this shift since 11 parsecs.
It's happy time, Soon-Hee. We got to get those drinks out.
If I have one more droid stiff me on an order.
Y'all, we say this because when we met them, their hair was they literally looked like background dancers for that SNL sketch Sprockets.
They did. And I just think
their hair's black now.
Especially Soon-Hee is always 130% trying too hard at what she's wearing.
We're going to get to this, but y'all, as I've said before on this show, if you don't fully understand someone, meet their parent. Meet their parent. That's all I'm going to say.
They've been on. This is their third season, you guys. We know them very well.
These are the bath water sharing mom and daughter that made the kind of famous.
These Soon-Hee and Angelica almost feel quaint to me at this point.
Boy,
because I'm used to them holding hands at the booth and looking across at each other longingly.
Stroking each other, saying, if I could just marry a man like you, life would be perfect. And the daughter saying, same.
That's fucked up that I'm okay with it. That I don't even blink, even bat an eye anymore. I'm telling you, just Pang Pang ruined me. Pang Pang and same time ruined me. I think Extreme Sisters has definitely done me in.
Same production company, by the way, y'all. So just so you know, they got a penchant for the crazy.
A penchant. Penchant with a T at the end.
That's what I said. Gary, roll that tape.
I think you sounded like you said Thomas Pynchon. You don't know who that is, but that's fine.
No, I don't know. Don't care. So, y'all, Soon-Hee is 32 weeks pregnant. That was a big news.
Angelica. Soon-Hee's the mom.
Yes, Angelica's 32 weeks pregnant.
But that was announced. That was announced in social media. Last season she got engaged to Jason.
Yes, so she's 32 weeks pregnant, and Angelica's, and so they're sitting in and Angela's saying, "Well, I don't care what I want," and she's like, "But you know what you want," and she wants to have a daughter.
Of course,
I'm praying they have a son, but it probably won't work out that way.
Me too. Y'all, and Soon-Hee basically has been a Bond villain towards Jason. Now, yes. The thing is, Jason's not really a prize, but dealing with sainthood, dealing with Soon-Hee, I can't speak. Dealing with Soon-Hee should be a cause for sainthood for him.
It's not. He's not a loser, but he just, like, y'all, he was married. He took like 7 years to ask her. Like, it's just been.
He's bland mashed potatoes.
And kind of childish in a way.
Well, we're going to find out why. Because someone's got their own smothered issue.
So, yes. So, they're having an engagement announcement. And Angelica's nervous about seeing Jason's mom and telling this because his mom lives in Alaska normally. And Soon-Hee immediately says, I still have concerns about Jason, what kind of father he would be, but also, and that he can't be trusted to do anything. She said, but I don't think his mother likes us. And I'm like, and that's where I leaned in and I went, because she says his mother, Tokisha, is that how you say her name?
No, that was terrible. Toshiko.
Well, no, my thing. I typed
Toshiko.
it better later. Toshiko, yes. I like that name. It's a beautiful name. So anyway.
Better than Toshika.
Toshiko, so soon he says that Toshiko comes down and she tells Jason this. Your mom comes down. We make plans with her. She cancels the plans, but then we find out that she sees you later. We don't think that she likes us. And Jason kind of finally admits.
She don't, because she thinks you're weird.
Yes, he thinks you take baths together. She's seen the show.
You have pink hair and blue hair sometimes, and you serve droids on Tatooine.
Exactly. and what your mother-in-law thinks about her daughter's mother-in-law is none of her business.
No one gives a fuck.
Now, she can console her own daughter and say, that's shitty, she does that to you, da da da.
My mother has a lot of opinions about my sister-in-law's mother.
Oh, does she?
Oh, yes.
Does she like her?
They get along, but my mother can point to every single flaw in my sister-in-law that is caused by her mother.
And do you think your sister-in-law's mom thinks your mom is the weird one?
Yes. They all kind of tolerate her. I will say I see my mother's point a lot because I'm the one who's like my mother in my family.
Shocker.
Because my mother doesn't play along and I don't play along. And when something needs to be said, my mother says it. And I like to think I'm the same way. But
yeah, not fun. It's not really enjoyable.
I keep it real, bitch.
Yeah, but usually doesn't go good. Doesn't go good.
Didn't go good.
And so y'all, Poodle, what do you think could be one of the best karmic things to happen to Sun Hee for being so terrible to Jason? And that's when I realized it's that Jason has a shady as fuck mom.
Yeah.
That
Toshiko.
And Angelica gave Toshiko a frame with the four of their picture on it. And Jason's mom didn't take it because she said it was
heavy.
Too heavy.
I will say that is motherfucking shady.
That is beautiful.
That is shady as motherfuck.
Now, we have, I don't know if you know, but I have a friend who is Asian. She talks about her Japanese mother a lot. And she talks about like her mother and her grandmother, that shade is like a thing. At least she says in her family. And she tells me, I can't speak for all Asian cultures, and I'm a white person talking about this, but she tells me that this is like a part of thing. And I bring this up meaning that like Sun Hee probably knows how to play this game. And so I'm hoping this puts a tit for tat between mother-in-laws, because I'm here for it.
I'm here for them fighting the whole season because I want to see Sun Hee's shade. I want to see them fight like Mortal Kombat.
Well, and I don't think anybody could put Sun Hee in her place except for an Asian mother. Are you getting a dick pic?
No,
what are you
I'm ordering food. Leave me alone.
What are you ordering?
You've kept me. I'm ordering a chicken salad. You've kept me here till all hours of the night.
I have not.
I was like, this is not going to be a show. Not going to be a very long show. I don't have a lot to say. We should never say that. You should hear what we say before the show. It's like,
we're like, this is going to be a 30-minute show.
I think it's going to be a 30-minute show. I don't have a lot to say.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then this bitch takes off on a tangent.
No, I will not have it.
Y'all, they are meeting Toshiko at a restaurant, and
Sun Hee's husband's there, and we see a glimpse of Sun Hee's mom, and it all makes sense.
Wow, she is like the carbon copy of her.
She's gorgeous, but it is like
she's 150%.
It's like, y'all, her hair is so dyed blonde. It looks like she's wearing a Farrah Fawcett wig. I mean, she looks like Crazy Rich Asians, like a character in that movie.
You know how Lego people have those things that just like attach to their heads? It looks like her wig just like sticks in her head with a peg.
Yes. I mean, she's beautiful.
It's just a lot, though.
But the makeup, full drag queen beat.
Work done.
A lot of work, full face. I mean, again, it all makes
sense why Sun Hee is the way she is. I would actually like to see some scenes where Sun Hee interacts with her mother and her mother shades the fuck out of her. Because it would make Sun Hee a little more empathetic, because we think she's a Bond villain. She's like, Jason, I don't know if I can trust you, with her in her way. She's got the nastiest shithead stare.
They just. By the way, Angela's lipstick this episode is horrible. Angelica. What did I say?
Angela, Eliza, and Peggy. I want to say, in general, their whole family makes really tough choices, makeup wise and look wise.
It's a problem.
Angelica's looking better, I think, with wardrobe wise, but the makeup needs to just restart over.
Yeah, it needs to start over. So basically, that's why their hair is black, because she had to dye her hair just black natural because she can't color her hair as a baby, and I bet soon he did it with her in solidarity
because she got that to be the same time.
So they're at the dinner, and they said we're having this engagement dinner party. Y'all, it's 6 people in a private room of a cheesecake factory.
I'd also like to say, sometimes you don't need to make an announcement for these things because things might not go the way you think they should.
Doesn't stop them. They stand up in the middle and they say, and Jason says, so I just want to let everybody know that
we're engaged. Polite applause because everyone knew.
Polite applause. And soon he has already prefaced this and said, I had a mother-in-law who absolutely hated me. Right. Shocker. And I was never accepted in the relationship, so I had this concern. I want this for her. So that's why she's like nervous about this too.
Now, I will say, Toshiko, at the time when they say she's they're getting engaged, she immediately looks like she ate some bad abalone.
Yeah,
immediately.
Yeah,
Now,
and she kind of goes, oh, and then immediately soon he's like, toast. And soon his mother says, happy.
Then they make the announcement, and we're also expecting. Cut to Toshiko, who is now looks like she's trying to pass a kidney stone.
she literally just goes. She actually goes. She does. She goes, oh, what? Not gonna go good.
Her face screws up in such a way that the only thing she is desperately trying to get something out of her urethra. It's really bad.
She hates Angelica so much.
She does. And I think the problem is Jason's got his own smothered. He probably treats his mom, but it's a different kind of smothered that he doesn't share a lot with his mom because he's afraid of her judgment.
Because, y'all, we marry the people we know.
Exactly.
And that's what he knows, is that's the mother. Hear that again, y'all. You commit to the people you know unless you make a great change to know what you need. There's a difference in that.
I don't know. I don't know a lot of the people I'm like banging after midnight, but that's me.
Yeah. I'll let the audience analyze that.
What was your name again?
Y'all, that's the first
episode.
John. Y'all, that's the first episode of Smothered Season 3.
Season 3. I'm excited for new mom and daughter couples.
Yes, I am too. I think as y'all, it's a little inside, but I have a friend who's one of the producers on this show, and because I emailed him immediately and said, "Where the fuck is Mary and Brittany?" And he said, "I promise you, it's the craziest season yet." So, so I know you're saying it's safe now, Poodle, but you might have to. It might be like 2 weeks ago on Extreme Sisters when you said this show isn't so bad.
Like this is going good when it was like the doldrums.
And then suddenly, pang with my vagina. Smell with my sis. Have your birth. Yeah, I won't go into it.
We have been told, by the way, I need to say, I did ask who wants their period, and I had this thought of that.
That's Extreme Sisters.
Yes, so you won't be pregnant. I was aware of that, and also so you get over PMS. But I just thought it was strange when a woman said, "Can I smell your crotch so I can get my period over with?"
Which
almost everyone we talked to said that's fucked up. We did have someone saying
a lot of women do want to start their period because it makes them feel better. Didn't know that.
And we did not know that.
We didn't know
So
that.
this is 2 gay men talking.
We did say
learning
that.
more every day.
In our defense, we didn't say, this has to be the way it is. We were like, we don't know. Anyway, so y'all.
That's the show.
That's the show. Go to realitygazepodcast.com. Now, I know we've been thinking of mothers, but if you think of your father and you want to send them a cameo where Poodle sexualizes them, or I call them daddy, just send us, come at us
you're the
on
one
cameo.
who sexualizes their father.
I
do some type of Civil War letter.
Yeah.
I do have 2 Civil War letters for fathers, and they are both. I am sexualizing both of their fathers. Y'all, if you're getting a cameo from me, you know what you're getting already. So I can't. You better not. You know what you're getting. I'm not subtle. I'm not. Yeah. I'm not clean.
Yeah, we got that. Got that. It's clear. Expectations met.
What is our sign off we do with this?
I don't know if we
maybe we don't have one. It's been so long. What is it?
So y'all, we're glad to be back. We're good to see you. It's good to be here. We're excited to go forward. Go to realitygazepodcast.com. We want to remind you we are covering 90-Day Foodie Call, but we're doing it on Instagram. We're doing Instagram
on our Instagram.
In our Instagram Reels and our stories. So if you want to see those,
follow us on Reality Gaze Podcast.
So you've got to subscribe to that. Those will start dropping later.
Y'all, I made that fucking fuck soup.
And we're going to do every episode. They're going to take time just because life's kind of, I'm in Houston and we're figuring out stuff, but we're going to do them all hopefully by the end of this month. But speaking of food, remember, no matter where you are in life, there's always one thing you can eat, Poodle. And what's that? Crab cake.